Oh, I messed up. It's okay. We're live. I was like, the intro ended. I was like, where are we? Oh yeah, I gotta add us back in. Welcome, guys. We are the Masked Crusaders. Just thin line defense. You got your favorite people here tonight. We talked to Walsh into not joining us, so we don't have to hear about battle belts or nods or
Thermals, thermal
Yep.
blankets, plate carriers.
Yeah. So it's anyways, it's good to be here, guys. We are here every Thursday. Let's see if what do you like better, Joe? Do you like it like this or like that?
I don't care. Ask
Hey,
them in the comments.
we got look at that.
Dang,
We got a
that's a
super
good way to
chat.
start out the night.
Iron Sight, thanks, Iron Sight. So he said it is Caleb's birthday tonight. He said, "Sing happy birthday to Caleb."
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy
Happy
birthday. No, let's not
birthday.
do that. Happy birthday, Caleb.
uh,
We'd have lost half of our audience if we sung that whole song.
no. Well, you deserve it though. We were wishing him happy birthday over in our Discord. If you're not in our Discord, you need to join it. We got a lot of comments to get through. So Dr. Dole's in the house. What's up?
Medic.
J Dub in a tub says Wizard Tech Earth.
Oh, thank you, J Dub. I needed that.
Harry's here. Harry, he says, looking good, Jason. Hey, man, I know Harry's in Florida. Hopefully you're doing okay with the hurricane. We've been trying to keep track of some of our Floridian friends in our Discord, and Croak has been in and out of having service, not having service, but it's good to see Harry here. Maybe he evacuated. Maybe he jumped ship to Alabama or something.
Maybe.
Sam Resendez. Hello, gents. Sam, I don't recognize your name, but welcome. Good to have you here. If you have been here before, I apologize. I just don't recognize your name. Zach, Wizard
Thank you,
Tacker.
Zach.
Mozdrak is back. He gives us a Wizard Tacker.
Thanks, buddy.
So, Mozdrak, I didn't see you last week's chat. I missed you, buddy.
Dude, I don't know how you keep up with everyone.
Well, I'm just that good.
Yeah, I have the memory of a goldfish. I'm like,
Banksbuck says, "Not Jason. Why didn't you save me yesterday?" So I was able to get a sneak peek of Walsh's defense mechanisms belt video. So the defense mechanisms belt is going to be on sale next Monday. We'll talk about this a little later. So the belt drops Monday. Walsh's main video is going to drop Monday, but he has a loadout video that's going to be going live tomorrow. And I am super excited about that belt. The inner belt, I don't know what I can say. It's basically the Warrior Poet belt that we all love. Heck, I think, yeah, I'm wearing the Warrior Poet belt right now. It's that belt, but better. So our whole team loves that belt. And seeing the adjustability of the defense mechanisms belt and how it takes the Warrior Poet belt and makes it better and makes it more comfortable and makes it more adjustable was really exciting for me. So Banks Bucks bought the Axle belt yesterday.
dude, you can't go wrong with the Axle belt.
Yeah,
I know. Not Jason excited for the DM belt, and I'm not taking away from the DM belt, but I love my Axle, and I'm not ordering the DM belt because I have a great belt with the Axle belt.
Then Joe's gonna watch the video and he's gonna be like, "Hey, who wants to buy my Axle belt?"
No, not. I like that thing, dude.
Yeah,
and I'm sure the DM belt gonna be amazing too, but I don't know.
Yeah, you'll see. It's really, really impressive what they were able to do. Dr. Dole says you need the hockey mask in multicam black. I don't know how I would do that. I'd have to get that air cured Cerakote because I couldn't put this in the oven.
No, just do regular spray paint and don't beat it up.
Yeah. Harry says all you need is a wig. Prepper Book Club. Hey. I guess before we get too far into this, we should talk a little bit about our videos that we had this past week.
Probably.
And Walsh isn't here. I mean, both the videos were Walsh's. So it was that Primary Arms Griffin, the LPVO, and then it was the optics test platform that he put together. So one of the things that I was really excited about, and I think Walsh mentioned it on that video, was how happy we were for him that he finally built the gun all on his own.
Yeah. Yeah. And that it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
And it's just a Lego kit for adults.
Yep. So he's got some really cool stuff on there, and some stuff that a lot of us on the team like the Strike Industries enhanced bull catch. That Criterion barrel is absolutely bonkers what he's able to do with it up to 600 yards.
I just like it. I like the Criterion barrel because it finally made him eat more crow.
Well, didn't he complain to you about how 5.56 isn't effective out past like 300 yards?
Yeah. So that's what he said. That's why I made that one video that I did where can I engage at 600 yards with 5.56? And then he said, well, it's because it's a 20-inch barrel. And then he was shooting with a guy that was shooting with a 16-inch barrel and proved that wrong. And then he said, well, because it's a heavier projectile, which definitely does help. I'm not gonna take that away, but you can engage out to 500-600 yards with regular 5.56.
Yeah, I mean, we did it all the time in the military with ACOGs or little 4X scopes that we regularly.
Yeah, you'd have to walk it in, but once you figured out your holdover and stuff, you can fire for effect.
Yep.
So, but I do love that paint job. I like his other one better though. Like I like the black and the grays. It looks cool, but for like where I live, and I like all the browns and the greens and stuff. I like
Moab
that Moab
that he has.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he have? He has an AR in that, doesn't he? His little shorty.
No.
Isn't he a shorty?
He has a 16-inch, I think, on that one.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he does have a short one. I don't know. No, maybe he did like a 12-inch. I don't know what he did.
Well, he's got that 300 blackout that you Cerakoted for him, right?
Right. That's the Cryptek. Yeah.
Okay. I'm all over the place tonight. So there was that video that Walsh did, and then there was the LPVO.
Yeah, Primary Arms.
Primary Arms.
Which Primary Arms, dude? We've talked about it a million times. We've liked them way before we started doing this stuff. But they're coming out with some really cool stuff, man. It went from being kind of unknown and trying to lead the industry to absolutely leading the industry.
Yeah.
Like when you have people like ACOG buying your reticle, or renting rights. I don't know how it works, but they have the Primary Arms reticle in the ACOGs now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not ACOG, but in the...
No, you're right. In ACOG, it has the ACSS. Some of the ACOGs have the ACSS reticle.
Right.
So, and then Joe's kind of surprised by this. Hopefully I could tease this. Primary Arms hasn't told us not to, but we got some new red dots from them that we're going to be testing out.
Yeah. I was all excited, and I just got an email, and I sent Not Jason like a picture of the screen of the email, like, dude, Primary Arm coming out with a micro and a mini, right? A mini and a micro, and the micro going to be the RMSC footprint, which is the SIG 360, the Hellcat, like all the micro guns. And I was really excited for it, and he's like, "You mean these ones?" And I'm like, "I hate you." I hate you.
I'm trying to see if I can take the slide off so I can kind of show it off because I have it mounted on my Smith & Wesson right now. It reminds me of the Holosun, the one that Joe does not like.
Why? It has a fishbowl in it?
If you're really looking for it, you can find it. But if you're not focusing on the glass, if you're just focusing on the target, the fisheye goes away.
Well, that's why I don't like the Holosun, because I looked through it and it looks like even with both eye open, it looks like I'm wearing somebody else's prescription eyeglasses. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't get that with this one, but the design is very similar to the Holosun 407.
Yeah, I have the 407. I like it. except for the distortion. That's the only thing I don't like about it.
Yeah. J. Devin and Toad says, "Yay, no Walsh." Hey, we're as excited as you are.
Right?
Hey,
there are no rules.
Seth Brooks says, Wizard Dance Man. Hey, Seth. Walsh said that he's been trying to get a hold of you because you wanted to buy one of these patches, and he hasn't been able to get a hold of you. So the way Walsh has explained it, he sent you a message on Discord. So can you check that and let me know if he's a liar? Because then we have something else to tease him about. Yeah, please, baby Jesus.
Yeah, just figure out what he did wrong so we can tease him.
Ironsight, Wizard Tech Earth.
Thank you.
So, in honor of Caleb's birthday, I do want to highlight something pretty cool that Caleb set up for us on our Discord, and it's something that Seth had used. So, Seth wants to buy one of these patches, and so if you go into our Discord, there's a contact TLD channel. So you click on that, you can type in your question, and then it notifies us, hey, this person has a question. It creates a whole separate temporary channel that the TLD crew and the person that submitted the question can chat in. But yeah, Walsh supposedly hasn't been able to get a hold of Seth. I don't believe it for 1 second.
Yeah.
Harry, Wizard +1 level.
Thank you, Harry.
Caleb said, Walsh is not here because he has been silenced with his new silencer. LOL.
True.
He's very excited.
And I will talk about that. So he won the bet. Unfortunately.
Yeah, what was the bet?
A $1 bill with the numbers 3, 6, and 9 in the serial number. Dude, I've been asking everybody that I actually know, like, hey, do you have any $1 bills on you? Oh, you do? What is 3, 6, and 9 in the serial number? I'll give you $5 for it if it is. I found two with the 3 and 6, but not all of them. So it's gonna be a long time. Which sucks because check this out. He ordered his cans in October of last year, I think. I ordered the Camaro in February of this year, and it came down to like 4 days. This race came down to 4 days.
Yeah, because you get your Camaro on when?
My Camaro in Denver at the rail yard. I can't talk tonight. But they have to get it off of the rail yard onto a truck, transported down to Colorado Springs, and then I can pick it up. So it should be available on Monday. And he got his can, on Wednesday?
Yeah, yesterday or Tuesday, something like that.
Yeah, so right as my Camaro coming into the state, he got his can.
Bank says, zoomed in like this, I can actually see not Jason's teeth.
Ew, gross. Let's not do that then.
Yeah, we're going to zoom out for Banks Bucks. Sam says he has been here a while. He has watched. Good to be back. Good to have you, buddy. Gen Z Prepper, Safariland 6360 3832 holster fits the Balder Pro R and the PL Pro 1500. The holster works without the light and will lock without the light. That's awesome, man. The Safariland that I have does not do that. Like if you don't have a light on, you put it in there and the thing just jiggles all over the place.
See, and this is why Discord is important, because people have information like that.
Oh no. Ironsight just posted a picture in our Discord with a $1 bill with all 3 of the numbers in it.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Dude, I need that. I need that doll hair.
I can't pull it up because it'll make me talk all fast.
Yeah, it will.
Caleb says, hey, I thought without Walsh we would not have to talk about battle belts. True. That's true. I apologize. But Banks brought it up. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. It wasn't my fault.
Robert, Dr. Dole says, belt drops Monday, sold out Tuesday, back ordered 6 weeks by Wednesday. It's funny you say that. So I did mention, I sent Walsh a message and I said, hey, is Defense Mechanisms ready for your belt review? And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, are they going to sell out within a day? He was like, oh gosh, I hope not. Isn't the Warrior Poet belt, just a rebadged axle belt.
Oh no, not Axle. It's the Warrior Poet belt made by Blue Force Gear.
Blue Alpha.
Blue Alpha Gear.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a rebadged Blue Alpha Gear. But the way that I see it is I like both of them companies. So if I buy it from Warrior Poet, I'm supporting two companies with only one purchase. So I bought mine through Warrior Poet.
Yeah, same here. J-Dub says, my fiance always laughs at me when I rush it to put my plate carrier on for this live. If she means that, then maybe you need a different fiance.
No, I was going to say, if you're not even married and she tolerates it, you better get married faster than
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, you better move up that wedding date.
1911 Drew is here. 1911 Drew.
Oh, what's up, 1911?
And Joe are like soulmates.
Yeah, we're kindred spirits.
Soulmates. Caleb says,
1911 Drew, have you gotten your double stack Springfield yet?
Ooh, good question. Banksbuck says, I got the reassurance I needed, thank goodness, with his axle belt purchase. So good job, Joe. You reassured him.
Dude, I'm telling you, I love that belt. You're going to love that belt.
Yeah, for me, I kind of joke, I'm glad that I haven't. I'm the only one on the team that does not own an axle belt. And it's just been, I have no good reason why I didn't buy one. I just didn't. And so when Walsh was telling me about the defense mechanism belt, I'm like, oh, good. Now I don't have to buy one because I could just buy this one because it's better.
Yeah, I'm a car guy. So we'll say I bought a 2021 Dodge Ram 2500 with a Cummins in it. And Ford come out with their new truck for 2023. And it has 3 more horsepower, 10 more foot-pounds of torque, and the tailgate folds down into a step. That's the 2 belts. Like, I'm still very happy with my Dodge Ram purchase. I don't need a step. I should have said Chevy, so then I could say I'm sure the Chevy's a great truck. I'm still happy with my Ram, and I don't regret my purchase. If that helps anymore.
Bank says, I was typing out, building a gun is like a Lego set, but they already beat me to it.
Yeah. And we're behind on comments.
Yeah, we are, like 10 minutes.
Yeah. And if you've never built an AR-15, I 1,000,000% recommend you doing it because it does 2 things. Number 1, it teaches you that ARs sold in the store are way overpriced. And number 2, it's showing you all the inner workings and it takes away the fear factor of it, right? And I don't mean fear like, oh, this is big and scary. No, fear like I never messed with an AR trigger because I was scared crapless that I would never get it back together. After I started building them, when I would go to the range for the military, for the military, when you go to turn your rifle back in, they almost use the white glove, right? And you're sitting there with pipe cleaner underneath the trigger all the time. And it takes forever. I would look around, make sure there's no Cadam guy, and I'd be like, bloop, and I'd pop the trigger out, wipe it down real quick, throw the trigger back in, and hand it to him. Because then I wasn't worried that I would never get it back together.
Yeah.
It's so easy. And if you have any question, join the Discord, and everybody on there will help you out. Everybody. Now we're getting the weird, awkward pauses. Jason, not ready for more comments.
No, it's not that. I was in the Discord. Oop.
Now
in the Discord. Am I?
You did for half a second.
The link. Yeah. So one of the things that Walsh kind of highlighted, and I actually used this argument on a coworker. So I had to go out to South Carolina recently. And Palmetto State's there. And so I was able to get a hold of our contact there, and he gave me a very brief tour of some of their buildings that they have there and showing me kind of what they're working on. And so I mentioned to a coworker about that because he was like, hey, do you know Palmetto State's here? And I go, yeah, actually I was able to get into a tour with him. Then he started bashing them. Well, their QC is really bad and a bunch of issues with it. And so my point is, they're probably, I would guess, in the top 5 producers of ARs or AR parts in the nation. I mean, sales are in the top 5. So if you have that amount that's going out, I'm guessing you're going to have number wise, you're going to have more than others in QC issues, but percentage wise, it's about the same that you see with other companies. And so I asked him, like, well, what issues did you have? And he's like, well, I got one and the handguard was loose. And I was like, dude, if you cannot tighten your own handguard.
You save $500 and you're complaining about having to tighten the Allen bolt.
Yeah. So those are some of the issues that I see that can be relieved if you learn how to build your own ARs.
Yeah. I was going to say your coworker sounds like somebody that justified a more expensive purchase by saying that.
He bought a Daniel Defense.
Yeah, weird. Like, oh, how did I know that?
Yeah. So thanks. Oh, I missed one. Our favorite libertarian's here. What's up, buddy?
Oh, finally! I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, he's not in Florida. Oh, you know what? He was on vacation.
Oh, vacay?
Yep. So Banks says he's been calling defense mechanisms for 12 hours every half hour and haven't gone. I think I told you. If you want, message Walsh. Walsh has Jesse's personal number. He could probably get stuff sorted. Does it have shake awake? No, it does not. It's a manual adjustment. That little red dot from Primary Arms.
It doesn't have shake to wake?
Nope.
How long does it stay on for?
At medium setting, 40,000 hours.
No, I mean till it shuts itself off.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't tested that yet.
If it turns on and stays on for until the battery's dead, then I'm fine with it.
I think so. I don't think it has auto shut off.
The thing that which optic was it? I forget now.
The Ride-On?
Yeah, it was the Ride-On, right?
Yep.
The Ride-On, it didn't have shake to wake, and it shut itself off after like 30 or 40 minutes. I'm like, what good is? You can't every day carry that.
Yeah.
That's just a range optic. That's all it is.
So it does not have auto turn off.
Oh, good. Then
it just stays on.
So all you're doing at that point, and just you'll go through battery faster.
Yeah, 40,000 hours at medium setting. I mean, that's a couple of years. What is that, 3 years, something like that?
I don't know, dude. I don't know how many hours are in a year. What are you, psycho?
Walsh would probably know. He is psycho.
That's like knowing how many feet are in a mile.
Yeah, 5280.
That's what Google for.
Where are they located, Banksbuck? I think Defense Mechanisms they're in the Midwest somewhere, like Wisconsin or Michigan or Minnesota or something like that. Banks says 90% sure in Minnesota. So Cook Club says, I actually want to try Swamp Fox. They have some stuff that looks good. I do have one of their micro red dots, a Sentinel, that it's going to make its way through our red dot series, and I like it. Out of all the ones that I have, it's probably my favorite. It does have shake to wake. It does have the manual brightness adjust. Is that the one that you're using, Joe? The Swamp Fox?
No. So mine has the auto and it stays on.
Okay.
Because they make two different ones, so you can choose.
Yeah.
I have like 5 Swamp Fox products. I'm pretty happy with all of them. I mean, when they first started, I wasn't really keen on them, but they've gotten a lot better. But the only thing that I don't like about their micro in the Primary Arms looks the same way, but it doesn't have a channel cutout in the back of it, and it's thick. So you have to be running suppressor height sights on your firearm. So I wouldn't buy that for my Hellcat because I actually like the Hellcat sights, and I don't want to change them out.
So I will say with this one, and I don't know how. I mean, this M&P Shield, the sights aren't suppressor height sights. There's no channel on this, but you can co-witness.
It's okay, so it's low enough. Yeah.
So the sights are low, but you can still co-witness.
Yeah. Either the back of it has to be real thin, it can't stick up too high, or it has to have a channel. And the Swamp Fox doesn't have either of those. So I put it on my Springfield Armory Mod 2 that I had milled. I had the slide milled for that cut for the RMSC. And it works fine. I put suppressor height sights on it when I had it milled. But I wouldn't run it on my Hellcat.
Yeah. The one thing that I'll say about, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself on the review when I do the review for this, the micro reflex. So it only comes with one set of screws. And if you don't know, the thread pitch on the Hellcat is different than the SIG 365, is different than the Smith & Wesson Shield. So I tried installing this, and I got maybe a 1/4 inch in before the screws wouldn't go in anymore. And it's because these, I believe, are made for the Hellcat and won't fit on my Smith & Wesson.
Yeah, and so you got to be careful of that, because if you look in the holes, like on the Hellcat, on the right-hand side of the firearm, when you look in the hole, you can see a spring in there. So you can screw that screw all the way down to where you're like the spring laying this way, and where you're actually pushing and damaging the spring.
Okay.
If they're too long of screws. So you got to be careful with that.
No, I ended up having to use the Crimson Trace screws that I already had installed. So that was some frustration that I had with the Primary Arms red dot.
Yeah. Yeah, and screws are cheap. You should just they should know like the 5mm common and just throw some in there.
Yep, and that's what Crimson Trace did. They put the Smith & Wesson, I think, is like 6x32, and the Hellcat's a M3, and the SIG's an M4, something like that. So the Crimson Trace has all three. I wish Primary Arms would do that. J-Dub in the tub says, don't forget to like the video, guys. We'd appreciate it.
Thanks, J-Dub.
Yeah, so like Caleb's saying, Seth, you have a private channel on Discord, and once everything's good and you've made your purchase or you've contacted Walsh, then Walsh can go in there and say that everything's been completed or whatever.
Yeah, I paid Walsh, but he's a busy man.
Adrian B says, hey guys, I'm new to the wizardry, also a member on Patreon. How do I get in the Discord? Hey Caleb, put a link in. Appreciate it. So yeah, just click on that link and you should be able to join. Good to have you here, bud.
Yeah, you got to agree to the terms, because we're getting too big to not have terms. That way when non-wizards come in trying to spout their non-wizard magic, they can get kicked, and they've been forewarned.
Ironsight said, I just pulled $1 out, and the first one I looked at has a 3, 6, and a 9.
I hate both of you.
Harry, I thought Walsh got his can weeks ago. So Walsh has 2 cans. He has a Sandman K and a Sandman S, I believe. So one he did get a couple weeks ago, but the second one he just got yesterday or Tuesday.
Yeah, and we bet, and then he got a can in. I'm like, did we bet for both or just one? And I think we bet for one, but he tried to give me the benefit of the doubt and said, no, we'll count it for both. And then he still got a second one. So I lose.
So JD says, for all the optics, red dots and scopes tests y'all are doing, can you do a box test?
Yeah, I actually want to get into that. So it's how your turrets track. So you put your rifle, it can't move. Your rifle cannot move. And say you're zeroed, right? You shoot and you hit the bullseye. Well, you go down 1 mil, right 1 mil, up 1 mil, left 1 mil, and then fire. You fire each time, and you go down and actually measure it. Like, is that 1 mil or 1 MOA? And then when you come back around, that round should almost be touching your other one. So it's how well your turrets come back to true. And it's especially important for people that are always adjusting their optic. We all use holdover so much that it doesn't really matter to us, but we do need to start doing that. I agree with you.
All right. Hey, Croak is here. Look at that, Croak. So Croak is a Floridian who I know got hammered a little bit by this storm, but it seems like he's doing good. Good to see you, buddy. He says they're selling Rebadge groove belt, which is cool. I like it better than Core's belt, and that's saying a lot. Oh, that's good I got to check that out. I was really surprised because I saw the groove belt, an ad for it, and the guy shows it's stretchy, and I was like, what do I want with like an elastic belt? But then he grabbed the edge and like tried squeezing it down, and it just was very rigid. So it's very interesting to me. I want to buy one to see, like, why is it rigid this way, but it's stretchy or elastic the other way? So whatever fabric they're using is wizardry.
Yeah. We like wizards.
Croak says he's watching a slideshow, but the comments are coming in okay. Hi, buddy. Good to see you. Warrior Post side groove belt is an EDC belt. Okay, check it out. He says it's coming in 144p. Dude, you got to be on like your data, your phone data or something. There's no way you're on Wi-Fi.
Well,
so Archangel, my axle belt took forever, and then the sizing sucked, but they sent me a new one and didn't even ask for the wrong size back. Yeah, it seems like they're way better, because I think Banks said he ordered his and he got like shipment notification immediately. So I will say last year, man, there was a lot of people that were waiting 3 to 9 months to get their axle belt.
Yeah, I think I waited 3, but mine went before it really blew up.
Yeah.
Maybe I waited 2. I don't remember anymore, but it was worth the wait. I love that belt.
Archangel says building is great. I love picking my parts. Yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome.
1,000,000%. And for the same price as a Smith & Wesson M&P generic basic rifle, you can build something that's amazing.
Yep. Archangel says it was nice, especially after I lost 35 pounds and then the first one fit.
Yeah.
Congrats, man.
Good for you.
Sam says Walsh significantly helped me build my first AR. Now I'm hooked, going on my 4th rifle build now. What do they call that? Black rifle syndrome or black rifle disease, something like that?
No, I call that the blind leading the blind. How is Walsh helping you? He don't even know how to build it himself.
He did just build his first upper with that Criterion. I think that was the first upper he ever built.
That or the Moab one.
Yeah.
I don't know which one he built first.
Angry Sarge is here. What's up, Angry Sarge? He says Wizard Dance Magic.
Thank you.
Wizard +1 level. They're talking about the box test in the comments.
Did I get it right? Is that what they were talking about?
Yeah, Crook was saying he explained it, and he says it tests turret precision and 0 hold, basically.
Yep.
And a lot of cheap optics fail, and some expensive ones fail.
Yep.
Archangel says, I love Palmetto. I built a few higher dollar, and now I'm going to buy a PSA Basics to hoard. That's what
Did you see that new deal on Palmetto State? This is why we like them. This is why. So the Gen 3 dagger, or the dagger and a Gen 3 Glock clone, hands down, right? You can get that thing for $300, whatever. They have a deal right now where you can get a dagger lower, so you can build all your Gucci Glock slide and all that, but you can get a dagger lower with a stripped AR lower for $99.99.
Yeah, I saw.
And I don't mean $9,999. I mean $99.99. And I think they're doing free shipping on them.
Were they selling the dagger lower by itself for $99 for a bit?
Yeah, I bought one of those. So that's what this is. And that's how they're advertising it. Buy the dagger, get the AR lower for free. Then, still to the day, just today I saw it, they have the slide for that dagger. That's the fluted slide, suppressor height sights, RMR cut, threaded barrel, metal guide rod for your spring and guide rod. All that together is $199 with free shipping.
Yep. $300.
You can, yeah, $300 for a complete Gen 3 Glock and a stripped AR lower. Yeah. That's all right in my book.
This Banks
and whatever, if it's not the best thing out there, I don't care. It allows people that can't afford the best thing out there a way to defend themselves and a way to get into the sport.
Yeah. Yep, 100%. Banks says, why in God's name does it smell like chicken nuggets? Nobody's making nuggies. And it's funny, Zach had the same thought that I did. He says, maybe you're having a stroke. So there's one time I was deployed, I was sitting across from my partner in crime, and I was eating like a chicken fried steak, and I swear the first bite tasted like chocolate cake. And so I cut into it, and I'm eating. I'm like, I'm super confused. Like, why does this chicken fried steak taste like chocolate cake? And so I'm like, huh. And my buddy goes, what? And I was like, oh, hang on. I take another bite, tastes like chocolate cake. And I go, I swear, dude, this tastes like chocolate cake. And he said, are you having a stroke? And then I took another bite and it tasted like chicken fried steak. So a very weird thing that has happened to me that's similar to what Zach's talking about. Minnesota for DM. Banksbuck says a stroke is a possibility I didn't expect. No one does. No one expects a stroke.
They call it the silent killer. Do they? I don't think they do. I think they're a heart attack.
I don't know. That's burnt toast smell when having a stroke. Is anyone looking at purchasing the SIG Spear LT, aka MCX Gen 3? Is that the one that Palmetto State had on sale?
You'd have to Google it.
I better not look. I'm gonna start talking all funky.
Dude, I love that SIG makes certain stuff. Like is it SIG? SIG makes the Saint? No.
No, Springfield makes the Saint.
That's Springfield. What is SIG's little? They came out with AR pistol before they were like super popular.
Isn't it the MCX?
Maybe it is. I don't know, but I really like that they do that, so people that aren't willing to build them can still buy them. But the prices are ungodly. I won't buy them.
Yeah.
I saw a used 228 in the gun store the other day.
Ooh, how much?
I don't know. I didn't look because I was worried that I'd buy it.
Oh, I want one so bad. Dude, I still have like mags for that gun. I have
That's the only reason why I want them. I have for the same reason. I want one. It has so many problems with the roll pin. Like, why am I opening up that can of worms? But I still kind of want one.
I love that gun.
Yeah.
I really did.
It's a good shooting gun. Oh, it's a very good shooting gun.
Archangel says, Doc, no, I'm looking for a thermal at around the price of a spear. Ooh, I didn't know they were that expensive. Banks says, there's somebody's making nuggies. They're on some S tier cookie because there's no ovens anywhere near me in a 600-yard radius minimum.
Huh.
Oh, yeah. So he says, Banks says, I can't read MCX without reading it as Marine Corps Exchange. It's like AFES. What is AFES again? It's the
Air Force Exchange.
No, it's the Asian American Filipino Employment Service.
Yeah, that one.
Right? That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah. What's that acronym for? How fast you get kicked off YouTube? Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's what it stands for.
Pepper Book Club says, the smell of nuggies is either nuggies or colon rectal cancer. Best wishes, bro.
Hopefully you find somebody with some nuggets in their hand.
Archangel says, for the price of this spear, I'd rather have multiple PSA or IWI Zions. I have heard good things about that Zion, but it is an expensive AR. I mean, I think it's $1,500. That's like Daniel Defense pricing almost. J-Dub says, just waiting for the day that secret ATF agents join the Discord. I've talked about this with some of the guys too. Like, you know, I still work in law enforcement, and there's times where I meet up with ATF agents, and I think the next time that I'm going, that I know it's going to happen, I'm going to wear that shirt that Walsh made that says, "I'm a machine gun."
Yes,
AFD.
dude. Yeah, it's 10 times more fun when we troll each other.
Yep, they're a bunch of idiots over there. Jimothy, please bless us with these cans that they speak of. Hey, DeAndre McNeil's here. He says, been a while, guys. Glad to be back. Wizard.
Oh, thank you. Hey, can we talk about that a little bit? 'Cause there's a lot of stuff happening legally, right?
Yeah, let's do that.
So I'm not the best source of information, but I watch the Arm Scholar and what's that other one? The
Armed Lawyers?
No, attorneys.
Armed Attorneys? Yeah, the guy and
Armed
the girl?
Attorneys. Yeah, I really like them.
Yeah.
Definitely, if you want to keep up on this, go to YouTube. We don't even know them. One day I hope to. But Arm Scholar and Armed Attorneys, look both of them up. So right now they sent that. Okay, so it came from the Supreme Court. went back to the Ninth Circuit. Ninth Circuit trying to prolong everything, kicked it back to Judge Benitez, and Judge Benitez quickly did a turnaround on it, and now it's headed back up. For which one is that? That's not the
Ninth Circuit. Oh, you're talking about it's the California. Is it the magazine ban?
Magazine ban. That's what it is, I think. Yeah. So we might get somewhere on that, and then the New York versus Bunk. Or not New York, New Jersey Rifle Company versus Bunk. That's dealing with high capacity magazines. And then there's a couple more. Hawaii gonna have some. They're gonna have to pay the piper on their CCW. New York is trying to create more laws to go against the CCW, and that's getting challenged yet again. Yeah. And actually, Texas is going the complete other way. I saw something today. So, they did the constitutional carry in Texas and everything, and somebody under the age of 21, I think 2 people, don't quote me on it, but they decided to sue Texas that the Second Amendment does not say anything about age in it. So they're like, I'm 19 and they are violating my Second Amendment because I can't carry a handgun. And it actually got ruled on, and it got ruled that it was unconstitutional. So Texas, instead of just saying, okay, we lost that battle and we're going to leave this alone, they're going to fight it. So then it go up to the 6th, I think, or the 5th, one of them, circuit. And if it found unconstitutional there, then that's going to be multiple states that now have to allow 18-year-olds to carry. I don't know about purchase, but at least carry handguns. Yeah. And then if they challenge that, then it goes up to Supreme Court, and if it loses there, then it's the law of the land. So please, with all the case law, history, and tradition, and what the Second Amendment says, please keep challenging these so they can all keep going up to the Supreme Court and getting just squashed.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I live in Colorado, where there's still the high capacity magazine ban. Did you see the new ruling on the definition of frame and receiver in Texas?
Mm-hmm.
So the ATF tried to go back and say to the court, well, allow us to evaluate the company product, and then we'll see if it even meets the definition of a frame and receiver. And the judge put a stop to that real quick.
Yeah, I did see that, because he had said something. The judge said something like, if Congress would have wanted this defined this way, they would have put that language in the law.
So that's what made the judge put a stay on it. So now the ATF can't enact on it. But it only protected that one company. So that company was going to try to pretty much circumvent the judge's orders. And what I feel that they're going to do because they see themselves on a slippery slope and they're about to lose, they were probably going to look at it and be like, oh, never mind, we don't need the lawsuit that doesn't meet the definition of a frame and receiver, and let that one company have a win, so then they can still go after all the other ones. And the judge said, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Kiboshed it. It was awesome. So hopefully,
ATF has been getting their butts handed to them, legally speaking. It's been great to see.
Yeah, I just hope. And then there's a new bill trying to be passed in Congress, which it'll probably fall dead, but it's set to remove short barrel rifle, short barrel shotgun, and I think something else. I forget what else, but remove them off of the NFA completely.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's Congress. They're not going to pass that. So
yeah.
But if they did, then we wouldn't. And it said that if it does pass, that the government had 365 days to destroy all records for short barrel rifles.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Shredding party.
Right. Fun stuff going on right now, dude. I'm so excited. So just suppressor coming off of the NFA will be such a great day. Oh, yeah.
I think it'll happen in our lifetime.
I think it'll happen within the next couple of years.
Yeah,
I don't remember seeing suppressors in the Second Amendment, and I definitely don't remember seeing suppressors any law back in 1794 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Talking about suppressors. So
Well,
if not based in
kind of,
history and tradition, and if not in the Second Amendment.
Yeah, that's kind of the, I guess, the double-edged sword for the ATF, because they've come out and they've tried to say, well, no, suppressors aren't protected in the Second Amendment because they're not firearms.
Right.
But then at the same time, they say, no, suppressors should be in the NFA and you need to pay tax on them. Like, oh, hold on, you can't have it both ways. You can't say on one, there's two cases they're arguing. In one argument, it's not a firearm, and so therefore it's not protected by the Second Amendment. The other one, they're saying, well, no, this isn't a Second Amendment issue. This is a tax issue, and these fall under the NFA, and so therefore you need to pay a tax on them.
Right.
It's the ATF wanting to have their cake and eat it too,
and they only did that back in the day. They did it for a couple reasons. Number one, this went way back in the day where $200 was a big deal. I don't know what it is in today's money, but $1,000 in today's money. So nobody could afford to do it. That's what they tried to do and price everybody out of it. And number two, they only made the rules for short barrel rifle and stuff because they thought that they were going to completely ban pistols. So you got to make all the rules for short barrel rifles so you don't have small gun, right? Because they were going to ban all other small guns. Well, when they weren't able to ban pistols, the NFA still passed, and now here we are. Dude, if you're trying to do bad, or you're trying to conceal a firearm for whatever reason, you're trying to conceal a firearm, it's a million times easier to conceal a pistol than it is to conceal a short barrel rifle.
Yep.
Why do we have rule against it? I don't know.
Although I will say, if you ever watch the video of Reagan getting shot, that freaking Secret Service agent pulled a freaking Uzi out of somewhere really quick.
Right.
Like all of a sudden, he was standing there with his, back in the 80s, they had those like stupid tight suits. So it's like, where the hell did that Uzi come from? All of a sudden, he's standing there like.
It was definitely underneath his suit, but I mean, how I can conceal 5 pistol easier than somebody can conceal a short barrel rifle.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know, and I missed that part. Like, back when they made all the rule where like if your musket went under a certain length, you couldn't own it. I missed that part, and I must not know how to read. I definitely didn't see it in shall not be infringed. I don't know how that means, except for if it's short.
Yeah.
So.
We're still talking about PSA in the comments. I'm that far behind.
All right, go ahead.
PSA has a Holosun 512C for $250. I saw that, and I think it's free shipping. They've started opening up stores in Georgia. That's great for me. So I will say this: as much as I love PSA, so when I was in South Carolina, I went to their store that's like right down the street from their like headquarters building, their corporate office or whatever, and I was looking at the 5.7 ammo because I was thinking, hey, if I'm here, I'm gonna, if I can get a box of 50 for $40, I'm gonna do it. Online it's $40, but in store is $50.
Yeah.
So
gotta pay that taxes on the brick and mortar, bro.
Yeah, I know. Banks says all the best stories start with when I was deployed.
Yeah.
Yep. Harry says the Sig Rattler. That might be the one you were talking about.
Maybe. It had the PSA or the SB. It had the SBA brace that had the 2 rods that slide in and out. It was cool looking.
J-Dub says, Jason, is your room like half painted or am I hallucinating? You're hallucinating.
It doesn't look like it. It's a shadow.
It's a shadow, yeah. Yeah, and I do have like a separate light. Let's see what happens if I turn this off.
There you go. Yeah, it looks blue different with that light. Yeah.
Harry says, Jada, that's the mushrooms kicking in. 25 to 30, 2,500 to 3,000 street for the spear. Golly, no thanks. Zions are like 900. Oh, that's awesome. I thought they were 15. Archangel says, local gun store has Zion for 700. Ooh, I got to go to my local gun store. Joe Jones, what's up, buddy? Good to have you here. Doc Dole says, Arm Scholar is very good. Yeah. Except for, like, Joe sent the video over today in our group chat.
Clickbait like crazy, dude.
It's total clickbait. But here's the problem that I have with anything Joe sends me is I get lost in YouTube. Like I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, I'm super engaged, and then he's finished, and I look at the recommended ones over here on the side, and I see one like in Japan, handmade boots from wild boar, and it's like, oh, that sounds interesting. And then I'm watching a 30-minute video of them making boots, and so here I start off with like Arm Scholar, what's happening in the gun world, and watching videos about, I don't know, hog hunting or something.
Yeah. I like Arm Scholar. He only does a quick little snip towards the sponsor.
Yeah.
But his title are so clickbait. It'll be like,
oh, they are.
Breaking news, no more NFA, and you click on it, and it like, a judge announced that he'll hear this case in 3 months from now. I'm like, are you serious, dude?
Yeah, like the one Joe sent today, the headline was, Federal Court strips ATF power to regulate and review frames and receivers.
Right.
It's like, oh, sweet. That
and
sounds
technically
awesome.
They did for one case for one instance.
Yeah.
I was hoping at the end of the whole IPA 4040s.
Pepper Book Club says, so about the people that had that case of M16s and the supposed empty cases they bought. Yeah, what a bunch of idiots for even telling anyone about that. Yeah. Did you hear about that, Joe?
I did. I didn't watch any of the video, but supposedly they got raided soon afterwards, which would have really pissed me off.
Oh yeah, that would have been.
You have to have reasonable articulable suspicion that a crime was committed. If somebody sends you something by mistake, that's their fault. You didn't commit any crime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what judge signed off on that search warrant. And for a search warrant of probable cause.
Yeah.
That a crime was committed.
I'd like to see the copy of that search warrant.
Right.
Or the affidavit. Guns and gadgets? Nope.
Yeah, I do like guns and gadgets.
SIG P228 is a great pistol. Carried one when I was at Air Marshal Service. I didn't know they issued those to Air Marshals. But yeah, it was a great gun. Redwood Reaver says allegedly St. Benitez is supposed to roll in the mag ban by December. Now that you say that,
he already announced it.
Redwood Reaver might be in California. Yeah, I saw that.
He already said, I've already ruled on this, and I think he kicked it. So correct me if I'm wrong. Well, you don't have to. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think he already looked at it and already on his way back up to the 9th Circuit. You know they're going to stonewall it like crazy.
Yep. When is the Supreme Court going to disband the ATF and repeal the NFA? That's what I'm waiting for.
Well, they can repeal the NFA, but they can't disband the ATF, but I'm with you.
Local gun store is selling WOTs for cash only under guest accounts. WOT, what is that?
I don't know.
I don't know what that is. Iron Sight, help me, please.
Is that the trigger? Is that the force reset trigger?
Oh, is that? That might be what it is, right?
I don't know.
Y'all see that couple that got 2 full boxes of the fully auto M16s? They actually called their local authorities, and ATF showed up and took all their stuff.
Yeah.
Dummies.
That's what happens when you call the government. I don't know, dude. That'd be hard because if they figure it out and then they come to your house, that's a lot of what's having a machine gun, Class 1 felony.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and every single rifle account.
I would have been buried them all in my backyard, and then
what's
like,
that?
No, I just got a bunch of empty boxes.
10-year and $250,000 fine, I think, for each of those.
Yeah. Banks says, I remember my buddy bought a ton of 30-round mags when they were legal for like 2 months a while back. He doesn't even have an AR yet. There was, again, another thing why I like Palmetto State. So when the first time St. Benitez ruled that the mag ban was unconstitutional and they opened it up for that week, Palmetto State was like, all California orders are going to the top of the queue.
Yep.
Like, they were just sending those things out.
I had an order in at that time, and I'm completely okay with that. I'm like, I don't care. Send them. Yep, send them. Like, what I wanted Palmetto State to do was, like, every time you buy something at a store, like, do you want to donate $1 to, like, any pet store to pets or whatever? I wish that they would have been like, do you want to donate a magazine? So then the person that went on there and ordered 10, they actually got 11.
Compliments
I
of
would have
Joe.
donated a magazine every time I placed an order.
Yeah.
I'd been like, "Yep, $10. Here you go."
12 Bravo Tech says, "Evening, biatches." What's up, buddy?
What's up, man?
Yeah, Caleb's right. Caleb says, "Sounds like the judges are getting tired of the way the ATF and states are going after 2A." Yeah, I think so. And I think you see that a lot with how they're rendering their decisions.
Well, it tied their hand. This is the best part, and then I'll stop talking about it. I'm super excited about this, if you can't tell. But it's the state's burden of proof. So the state has to prove that their law is based in history and tradition, and if not history, like, well, we've been doing that for 50 years. No, it was when the Second Amendment was written, and they have to prove it. You don't have to prove that there wasn't any. The state has to prove that there was history and tradition regulating what that law says back when the Second Amendment was written. And they're not able to do it. Number one, they're not able to do it. And number two, they're putting in minimum effort. And the judge is like, well, you tied my hands. Here you go.
Yep.
Even the left-leaning, not left-leaning, the way left judging are going to have their hands tied. It's going to be.
Well, yeah, the Supreme Court made it very clear that there's one thing that you need to base your judgment off of.
No, two technically.
Yeah.
Text of the Second Amendment and history and tradition.
Here's a question. Big Truck says, "What's your philosophy on bump in the night rifle setup? Do you run it as a CQB, which in my mind is essentially what the response would call for?"
Yes, 100%. I've talked about it a million times. My bump in the night gun is an AR pistol chambered in 9mm, and I have Hornady critical defense rounds in 3 different magazines. That's my bump in the night with a red dot.
Yep, and I have
4-inch barrel, 4-inch muzzle device.
I have the exact same setup, except I have, I think, an 8-inch barrel, and I have a suppressor on mine.
I'm not cool enough to have a suppressor, so.
Well, and there's kind of a different philosophy on that. So John Lovell with Warrior Post Society, his stance was like, I don't want a suppressor on my home defense gun. I want it to be as loud as possible. I want my neighbors to hear it. You know, I want people to understand, like, you don't come into my house.
Right. I want it to scare anybody else, and I want 10 different houses calling 911.
Yeah.
And to wake up everybody in my house.
If 3 guys break into the house and the first one drops into a pool of blood, and the other 2 are like, "What the hell just happened?" That'd be kind of cool.
Yep.
DeAndre says, "Wait on the day I have to pay a back tax on my bird cage because the word suppressor is in the title. Flash suppressor. Oh man, that would be miserable."
That would.
The ATF is going after solvent traps. They think people are using them for suppressors, and they lower it about 40 decibels. I think people that take a solvent trap and then turn it into a suppressor, like, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't be able to do that, but I'm saying that the way the laws are written, ATF comes knocking.
Yeah, bingo. I don't agree that the law exists, but it still doesn't exist, and you still are breaking the law.
Yeah. So it's kind of
I can't wait until the day that they show up to somebody's house with a warrant and they raid their house and they go into like the lawnmower and it's an actual solvent trap for the fuel on the lawnmower. That's what I can't wait for. Like, what do you mean? I bought a solvent trap to trap crap in the fuel.
Yeah.
Because there's no fuel filter on a lawnmower. Idiots. Now get out of my house.
So Ironsight says tax stamp would be over $4,000 with today's inflation.
There you go.
Oof.
That's why they did it. They did
Rubber
it
Book
to
Club says
keep everybody from doing it.
Yep, $200 was to keep the pores away. Jim Crow stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because people on the left are going to say, well, what, you'll see all these people on the right. They'll be against guns when black people start getting guns, and it's like, bro, like, line up. I'll help train you on how to shoot. Come on. Right? I want more people to own guns.
I want everybody to own a gun. If everybody owned a gun, there would be hardly any crime.
Yep.
Criminals are really good at self-preservation. They're really good at it.
Thanks, Bo says, don't you remember when George Washington said, you don't need a musket, but a blunderbuss? You don't need a musket.
I don't remember that.
He's being facetious.
Oh.
Harry says, so Jason, you went into the store and bought it online on your phone? No joke, that's exactly what I did. I go in there and it was the FN ammo was like, I think the FN ammo was $60 in store and it was on sale for like 45 or 50 online. I was like, screw that, just buy it online.
Was there an option to pick up at your local store? That would have been amazing.
I don't know. There might be, actually. I think there is in the drop down.
Yeah, and then you don't pay shipping. Yeah.
Oh, crap.
And then you could have been like, hey, I just bought this ammo. Can I pick it up?
Oh, that'd be awesome. I will say this too. So if anyone is interested, our main contact at Palmetto State, I was telling him, I was like, dude, I don't understand why you don't do this more often. Like, this is really cool. Some of the stuff that I saw was awesome. He said, well, we're not open about it, but if any customer wants to take a tour, just email them and they'll set it up. So if you're going to be in the area and you want to take a tour of Palmetto State, they have stuff all over South Carolina, Columbia area. So if you're in the area and you know you're going to be there for a while, send them an email if you're interested in going and taking a tour of their facilities. It is mind blowing how big of facilities that they have and what they are capable of doing. Very, very impressed with their setup.
I love it. Yeah,
it was awesome. Banksbuck says, ATF, what happened to that case you had? This case? I don't know. What was in the case? I accidentally lost it in a boating accident. It sunk right away. Shouldn't empty boxes float?
You're guessing good at mine. I'm trying to cut the padlock off. I didn't have a key.
Yeah. Archangel says, my sheriff has said his department will not cooperate with federal agencies they feel are overreaching, specifically ATF. We shall see.
That's good, but that doesn't stop the feds getting together and coming in.
Yep.
I only know that because I live in a gun sanctuary county. That's what they call it. I love it. But yeah.
Yeah.
So they're not going to enforce it. That's like in Colorado, you're not supposed to be able to buy a high capacity magazine, and you drive around my county and you can, I won't say that. You can, we'll just say that the possibility is there.
I love that.
There's plenty of new reports on it, but
yeah. There's people understand me pretty well in our chat over here. So 1900 Drew says, not Jason. It was back in the early 1990s. And then Caleb says, hey, you better explain that or not Jason will not understand what you mean. And he's like, Roger that, Caleb. Not Jason. FAMs carried PT-28s in the early 1990s. Because that first comment would have been like,
yeah,
cool,
I would have been the same way.
J-Dub says his bump of the night is an AR in 8.5 blackout with a chaos control gorilla ammo. Bullet spreads open like a sunflower.
Yep, I love them. Yeah, I've seen it in ballistic gel. Well, not in person, but I've seen videos. Yep, solid choice.
Imagine you wake up at 2 a.m. dazed and half asleep, shooting a guy and flashbanging yourself awake.
Yeah. That's gonna be ringing.
Yeah.
Good thing with the stress and adrenaline, auditory exclusion are a thing.
It is. It really is a thing. Yeah. J-Dub, same. Banks, I swear all those people who rush to buy guns after Roe v. Wade and say, like, we have guns now, what are you going to do? And, like, a ton of people were like, yeah, hey, good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how there was an article, I think CBS News put it out. The headline was something like, newer gun owners are liberals and minorities. And it's like, cool, awesome. Finally.
I literally believe that if you're 18 and have a driver's license and you're a U.S. citizen, you should have at least 2 guns, a long gun and a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
That nothing in that says who you voted for or what your skin color was or what your religion is. Are you a U.S. citizen? Are you 18? Yeah. Okay, you should have 2 guns.
Yeah.
Minimum.
J-Dub says, been stacking 5.7 FN since CMMG made a prototype of the Descent. Cannot wait to have it in hand. Just bought the stock for it. I mean, brace.
Yep.
And Zach says, that FN ammo hurt. Yeah, tell me about it, man. I remember buying 50 rounds of 5.7 for like $17 a couple years ago. And now that's 40 to 50, even $60 now. Oh, and there's been some surprises. My local gun store had the FN ammo for $45, where PSA had it for 50. So I had to jump on that. I did see something on.
I don't even want to talk to y'all. I just bought rimfire ammo for 35 cents a round.
We were talking about that. Yeah, what was that? 17 HMR?
Yep.
Yeah. 35 cents a round for rimfire.
And that's on the cheap.
But yeah, so FN ammo, the Fn57 ammo is brutal. I did talk to our contact, Josiah, at Palmetto State. When we were doing the tour, he showed me their ammo production, the AAC ammo production. And I was like, dude, we've had a lot of people ask, like, you guys tease the 5.7 ammo. When's it going to come out? And he was like, it's going to be soon, and it's going to be very competitively priced. So I'm thinking and wishing it's going to be cheaper than that federal ammo that they sell on their website. So less than 80 cents a round is what I'm hopeful for.
If it were cheaper, he would have said it's going to be cheaper. He said it's going to be competitive.
Yep. Let's see. Archangel says, I put a side folder on my 8.5 and it's now my backpack gun as well. I love it with the Gorilla ammo. Now, the 8.5, is that an AR-10 platform or is it an AR-15 platform? Black Cat isn't cheap either, but it's getting better. Yeah. So maybe I'm confused. Isn't there a new round called the 8.5 Blackout?
Yeah,
it does. Or is that 8.7?
I don't know, dude. I can't keep track of them anymore.
So, Ark, if you can, are you talking? You have an 8.5 barrel in 300 Blackout, or is it that whatever that new round is? Banksbuck says, I loved how cheeky those force reset triggers were. They took the definition of semi-automatic and sent it. I dare say it's the first fully semi-automatic system. Yeah, when you see those people that go, oh, no, this gun, this is fully semi-automatic. And people are like, bro, you're an idiot.
You saw Congress argument where he kept pointing to a brace saying that it acts like a bump stock. And they're no, it doesn't. In no way, shape, or form is that a bump stock. And he's like, I'm not saying it's a bump stock. I'm saying it acts like a bump stock. It functions like a bump stock, and it increases the rate of fire. And they're doing like you better get educated, or the internet's going to educate you real quick.
I love that. Thomas Massey is awesome.
Well, he's awesome because he built them. He knows how they work.
Yep.
The other people have never even touched one. They have no clue.
So Ark is clarifying. He has a 300 Blackout 8.5 inch. That's his home defense.
I have one in that gun locker right there. I think mine an 8-inch, 8.5, something like that.
I think so. Archangel said, but 8.6 is the new one, and it's an AR-10 platform. Here you go. Sam says, Faxon produced the 8.6 Black in an AR-10 platform.
Yeah, when he originally said it, when he said Blackout, I automatically thought 300 Blackout, but I didn't want to be ignorant to it.
Apex Charger, hello, gentlemen. What's up, buddy? Good to have you here. Yeah, I just knew that there was that new round, and it was called the Blackout, whatever it was, like the 8, or maybe it's just 8.6 Black. I don't know.
Dude. I can't keep track. Can't keep track of it anymore.
J-Dub says, the force reset trigger that I destroyed was every bit as fast as the real thing, was emptying mags in like 3 seconds. Good old Alamo 15. No. There's a really cool video out there of Jerry Michelik and Iraq veteran 8888. And Eric from Iraq veteran 8888 has one of those force reset triggers. Maybe the Franklin Armory one, I can't remember. And Jerry Michelik has just a standard semi-auto. And so they go at a same target or the same types of target, same distance with a timer. And I'll say that Eric barely beat Jerry Michelik, but Jerry's grouping was so much smaller than that force reset trigger one.
Yeah. You can train yourself to be on fast, but
Yeah, this is funny. So Redwood says 30 round caliber clip with a thing that goes up. That was a California state rep that said that stupid stuff.
Yep.
And I love it. Again, talking about Jerry Mitchell, like he did a video kind of making fun of him where he took like a M1 Garand clip and it like he taped some 30 caliber bullets to it and like put it on an AR magazine. He's like, so this, this guy says a 30 round caliber clip could go 600 rounds a second. Let's see. And so he has this all taped to like an AR mag and stuffs it in the AR and shoots 30 rounds. And he was like, nope, nowhere close to 600 rounds a second.
It's amazing how the stupidity that comes out of people's mouths.
Well, the one that I loved is one of the Colorado lady.
Yeah.
About the magazines.
Yeah. About the magazine. They asked her, if you wanted to get rid of high capacity magazine, why did you grandfather this in? And she said, well, the magazine hold the bullets. So as soon as you use it, then you don't have it anymore. That's what she said. She thought magazines were one-time use. Once you shot the bullets out of them, they're no good anymore. And they had to be disposed of.
So part of that is
an idiot.
Part of that is like, I'm happy that the people that are making these laws are dumb.
Yeah.
Because they let us, they kind of give us a little bit of a break. At the same time, they're so dumb that they shouldn't be making laws like this. They shouldn't be making laws that have anything to do with that.
Agreed.
Bank says, I think the only problem with FRTs was that they jammed quite a bit, reportedly. I don't know. I've heard good things about the Franklin Armory one.
Well, that's a binary trigger. That's different.
What's the difference between binary and the force reset?
So force reset, when you pull the trigger back, the cycling of the bolt actually forces the trigger forward. So all you have to do is keep rearward, I can't talk, dude. Rearward. Yeah. Pressure on the trigger, and it's going to keep going off.
Oh, okay.
Because in your finger, it actually forcing it forward, but because you still have rear pressure on it, it cooks off the next round. A binary trigger, you put it to fire, you pull the trigger like a normal semi-auto. You put it to the full auto, right, or a 3-round burst
binary
on
mode, yeah.
Right. You pull it back, it shoots around. You let go of the trigger, it shoots around.
Okay.
You pull it back, it shoots around. Let go, it shoots around. But you can, if you pull it back and you don't want to shoot another round, you can flip it around to, I know safe, but it might be semi also. You can flip it off and then let go of the trigger. Not going to cook off around.
Okay. Arc says,
it's harder to do it on the binary trigger.
All right. Arc says, I'm always hesitant for these new rounds, so I know they will get support. I'm not a reloader, so I need supply. The 8.6 looks nice, though. I'll stick to 6.5 Creedmoor and PRC for now.
I'm the same way, and I got burned on one, and I found one of the best rounds that you can get for an AR-15 on the other.
Yeah.
224 Valkyrie burned me. I hate that round. 6mm arc, amazing. And I guess I'm in between on a 300 blackout.
Yeah. Banks says, I remember when Jerry tried using a bump stock and could only manage it to triple burst before stopping fire. Yeah, I mean, the guy shoots so good and so fast, he doesn't need anything like that.
And what did he do? 12 round out of a revolver in 2-point-something seconds.
Stupid amount of fast time.
Yeah. So 6 round, reload 6 round, all on steel plates, all on separate steel plates going across in like 2-point-something seconds.
DeAndre McNeil, heavy as 10 boxes you might be moving. Yep, someone said that. Single-use magazine consumables.
Yep. That's what she thought it was.
So ARC says it's 8.6 BLK blackout and actually even called Creedmoor. I see it sold most as blackout. Zach says, so FRT is basically slam fire? Sounds like it, the way it's explaining it.
Yeah. So the tack-on trigger that I have is kind of like that. It's a force reset-ish. But when the bolt cycle, it forces the trigger right up to the point of reset. So you still have to let off just a little bit, and then you get the click. So almost like barely any movement back and forth. But I have a card that says they're ATF approved. Not like ATF cares about that. They like to change definitions, but.
Bank says, man, government's making shooting pay to win with these single-use magazine consumables you got to buy.
Right, with $2,000 or $4,000 suppressor tax stamps.
Redwood says, my rifle identifies as non-binary and ammo fluid.
There you go. Davey
J says, what kind of 6-arc build did you make?
There's a whole video on it. AR-15, 6mm arc. I wanted an AR-15 that could go out to 1,000 yards consistently, and I think I did it for around $1,300. But there's a whole video series on it.
And if correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't this the 224 build that you bought from Palmetto State Armory, and then you swapped out the barrel? You took the PSA barrel off and you put the Faxon barrel on?
So I bought the Faxon bolt carrying group and barrel for the 224 Valkyrie. You are correct. And then, no, not a Faxon barrel. I forget who I bought it to.
It was PSA, wasn't it? Your 224, I thought, was PSA.
No, not the whole gun. Just the barrel, the bolt, and the bolt carrying group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Davey, there's a video that Joe did.
It starts at the 224 Valkyrie. You'll see me suck at that, and then you'll see me just throw a new barrel, a 6mm arc, and then I had hardly any time on it, and I got off the shelf Hornady black ammo and took it out to 1,000 and went 4 for 4 on some crazy targets out at 1,000. And I'm not a distance shooter.
Yeah. I think the title of the video is like 224 Valkyrie, the king of inconsistency.
Oh, is that what it is?
Something like that, yeah. Bank says, I remember watching an FRT video and the sparks coming out of the bolt legit scared me for the health of the firearm. Oof, golly. I have not seen that. Ark says, if that 8.6 flies, I might try it next deer season. I love that PA released the 308 HUD in SLX instead of the GLX. Save some money for the new Ruger Magpul. Ruger Magpul? Not following you on that one, bud. But that's it. That's the end of our comments.
You got through them.
You got through them, guys. We did it.
We got Not Jason back. See?
Whew.
Not Jason, not allowed to not be on here anymore. Talk about the king of inconsistency.
I forgot where
between
was I?
Not Jason,
I was traveling to South Carolina.
Between Not Jason, Walsh, and Cody, I don't even know how we still have a show every Thursday.
Well, we're coming up almost on our 100th episode. Today's our 89th episode.
What's that, like 72 for you?
Something like that, probably. Maybe less. Yeah. So let's
through the comments.
So what's that?
We're through the comments. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, Archangel clarified Ruger American in the Magpul stock. Banksbuck said zoomies. I don't know what that means. So I don't have any videos that are. I know what Walsh has coming up. So tomorrow is a teaser for the Defense Mechanisms belt. He's doing a loadout video tomorrow, kind of how he has it set up. You're not going to want to miss that. It's a fantastic loadout video, and it teases the belt a little bit. And then Defense Mechanisms, the belt, you're going to be allowed to order it next Monday. And that is when his main belt video is going to drop. So the next two videos we're going to see are going to be Defense Mechanisms, the mech belt.
Yeah. Do you know it's tomorrow?
I just said it.
That's the teaser?
Tomorrow's a loadout video.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a really cool belt. Like how they designed it is just it's awesome. You guys are going to love it. I got a teaser of the video just because Walsh has already uploaded it to YouTube and scheduled it, so I snuck in there and watched it. Got a sneak peek. And I'm 100% buying a mech belt, but I don't have the axle belt. So for me, going from like a traditional Molly style belt to the Defense Mechanism belt is going to be a huge step up. If you already have an axle belt, it may not. I don't think it would be worth it for you to step up. Oh, here, one last question. Favorite gun lube?
Shooter lube.
We use the same. Yeah, shooter lube is the one we use. It cleans really, really well, the cleaning portion, and the lube works just as well as anything else that we've used.
Remember when Walsh first started shooting and you all about the frog lube?
I liked frog lube too, but it was very specific how you had to use it. I didn't like you had to heat up the parts. You had to, and my I had to eat crow on that one because there was a firearm that I was storing for a long time, and so I heard that frog lube was great for it. So I lubed it up with frog lube. I put it away, and it was seized like nobody's business when I pulled it out of the gun case. It was an absolute mess. So I swore off frog lube, and I've never gone back. I went to shooter lube, and that's what I love. Archangel says Liberal Tears, which is a real gun lube company. Cleanse Oil does make gun lube, and I've heard good things about it, but I haven't tried it. If Angry Sarge is here, I don't know if Angry Sarge has a buddy or what, but there's a company that Angry Sarge really likes as well.
But if you're looking for something to buy locally, just get the hop stuff. It's good, or the Remington Rem oil. It's good.
This one, Caleb's mentioned it, Aegis, Aegis. That's the one that Angry Sarge has been recommending a lot.
Yeah. It is kind of a pain to go online all the time and buy it and like pay for shipping and all that stuff. But
yeah,
my shooter lube, I go through the cleaner way more than I do the oil. I live in a dry climate, so I do like one drop on each side of the slide, put the slide upside down, let it all, let it go on the channel, put one drop on my finger, rub it down on some parts like the top of the barrel on a pistol and stuff, and then I put it together. I go through the cleaner way more than I do the oil.
Yeah.
And actually, not Jason bought me my first. I wanted to try it, and not Jason. I don't know why you bought it for me. I can't remember, but that's the oil I'm still using, the one that you bought me years ago.
Yeah. Castle says use ALG Go Juice with pretty good results. I've only really seen that good as a lubricant, not necessarily as a cleaner. Zach says hop stinks. K-Sizzle says Aegis is good. Redwood says best gun lube for alone time in the bunk. And Archangel says Aveeno.
Any type of lotion, I guess. I don't know.
There's tons of gun lubes out there, though, and I'll say, depending on your climate, there might be some that work better for you than others. But I live in a high desert area. So does Joe.
Yeah, but I'm super dry here. Aren't you humid?
I'm not. It's not like in the South. I mean, we're probably in the 20 or 30% humidity.
Okay.
It's not bad.
Yeah, my uncle in New York, like, it gets crazy, dude. His guns will just like sit in the gun safe and rust out. He put a dehumidifier in that gun safe.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it gets crazy. So I don't deal with those issues. The shooter lube works for me.
Mozdrak's giving a wizard. ALR, I go bed. I've been up for almost, oh yeah, dude, 40 hours with a 2-hour nap. No wonder you can't type.
Yeah.
Go to bed. Get some sleep. We're going to be ending this anyways.
Yeah, I'll see you in 5 minutes.
So, just a reminder, guys, we are here every Thursday night, 8:30 Central. We're getting some Wizard Attack Earth, Wizard Demnies in the comments.
Gone.
Banksbuck says, one more thing, worst insult. I hope your firearm is bleeding your gun safe. Wizard Dance Magic, Wizard Attack Earth. So again, the video is coming up. Tomorrow is going to be Walsh's mech belt loadout video. There's not going to be a Sunday video, and Monday is going to be the Defense Mechanisms mech belt review. And I think you're not going to want to miss that.
The following week, my 1911 holster finally drops. So if you're still here, 1911 Drew, check that out.
Yeah, that's going to be October 7th. So, but we can
touch on that. Can I turn this? And Walsh isn't here. I'm going to turn this. And this is a teaser. Can you see it back there?
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
That's a teaser. I don't know when. I haven't even started recording those, but
That's gonna be a fun one. Caleb says we're forgetting Joe, Wizard Tiger, Wizard Chief Boots.
Nope, I'm out.
Then
Thank you.
he's
Down
out.
two. Down two for the night. It's
So
been a long
again,
time since I got through both, so thank you.
Yeah, I know. So again, guys, we are here every Thursday night at 8:30 Central, and I think that's it. Any alibis before we close this out?
No.
All right, guys, we will catch you next Thursday. Adios.
Yeah.